So, Kevin, 2-1 victory away at Lowestoft Town yesterday. I know you wouldn't have been wanting to make a lot out of the distance because everybody has to cover these distances. Every team has to go to a Lowestoft or a Leiston, whatever. But given that it is a long way, pleased with the result.
Yeah, delighted with the result. I think that the whole day, from start to finish, lads applying themselves in the right way. It's some have got journeys to get to the ground to meet the pickup points, and I think the bus set off around about 7:15, so it is an early start for us. It's a little bit different to what you generally have to face, but like I say, the lads' application to the whole day was brilliant, and the result at the end of it make for a really enjoyable journey home. And it's good when you can share good moments like that with one another, and be in one another's company a bit longer. And we look forward to Tuesday now off the back of a positive result.
Yeah. Obviously, I said about the distance and not wanting to make a lot out of that, but some of those longer trips last season were a bit of an Achilles heel for the team. So do you think it can be of value in some way that that's almost like a bit of a monkey off their back, that they know that they can make those kind of journeys and come back with the right result?
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, I think it was several times we went to Norfolk or Suffolk last year, and long journeys that we never came away with very much. So yeah, it's good to, like I say, any result on the road is always good. When you're doing that extra journey, I guess is it extra satisfying? Probably. It's 3 points at the end of the day, and like I say, we just have to move on now from doing that, and look forward to Tuesday, and hopefully nailing that one down. And we've got a little bit of a break then, and using our time between obviously Tuesday and the next games as wisely as we possibly can.
Sure. In terms of the performance yesterday, what was your general view of it? Obviously, you've had 24 hours, or not quite 24 hours, but you've certainly had a night's sleep on it. I didn't get your thoughts after the game yesterday, and I should explain that the reason we're doing this now is obviously just that we wanted to get back onto the team coach and get back as soon as possible, given it was a long journey. But have you had some time to reflect on it?
Yeah, but I've looked at it, and I think that the two goals we got to put ourselves obviously in the box seat were brilliant. Scored at a good time. To go in at half time at 2-0 was really positive. We always knew that we'd need a third goal. I think credit to Lowestoft, they didn't lie down by any stretch, and created one or two near moments for themselves, which I wouldn't be entirely happy with. But equally we did in the second period. I think the goal against us is very much avoidable. I'd be a little bit disappointed with that. And overall, I still think we're kind of work in progress. There's players there that I would like to think would have more to give. But it's always best when you're doing that off a positive result. And obviously yesterday was a different challenge on Tuesday. But yeah, it's important that we try and get a run going, and staying around the upper reaches of the league.
Yeah, I think when I considered it back, I thought Lowestoft, as you said, deserved credit for that, because on both occasions when we scored, they came back into it pretty quickly. And I thought that was perhaps indicative of, a side that got promotion last season, in that they didn't allow a goal to knock them. They did come back at us fairly quickly.
Yeah, that like I say, that they've had some sort of moments and opportunities they'll look back on and think, what if? And we've got to, that's kind of the point we're at the moment, where players making the way back after injury, which was encouraging yesterday for sure. We've missed a lot of those players, and still are missing a few of those players that we need in our ranks. But yeah, it's not an easy surface to play on. It's not as good as our surface at home, but you have to get on with that, and understand it away from home, and deal with the whatever's thrown at you. I thought we did by and large. We stayed strong together when we needed to. It just would have been nicer to have won it a little bit more comfortably than we did. But the most important thing is always getting 3 points, and like I say, trying to build a run and take that as deep as you possibly can.
Sure. And you've spoken about the need to capitalise on spells when you're on top. I wouldn't necessarily feel, or I don't know if you feel the same, but we weren't necessarily on top in the first half. But the goals, when they came, came from bits of quality, didn't they? I thought the composure that James Armstrong showed for the second goal, particularly, and he didn't take it straight away, just took that extra second on the ball and went round a challenge to
Yeah.
make sure rather than snatching at it.
Yeah, I think you look at both goals. I think the first goal, Remy's been really bright and he's earned a foul just into their half and moved the ball as quickly as he could after getting out off the floor. And Ellis is driven into a good area and Byron's reacted to it brilliantly. That was a nice moment for us. A real positive start after a real poor start the week before. So that was a big tick for us. And as you say, Ricardo's footwork in the area to leave two players behind him, and then, as you say, the composure that Jimmy's shown in those moments, great touch, takes him beyond a player, and he's able to pass the ball into the net. He made it look very, very easy, but it takes a real degree of skill to do what he did. And yeah, it wasn't. You'd look at the scoreline and think it was comfortable in the first half, but it was anything but that. Lowestoft, as I say, kept going and kept pushing and kept working moments and situations. And we've got to be a little bit more, understanding and harder against the ball, I feel. And we're not at the point, we worked to that point last season. I think, we are hopefully making strides towards it this season, but there's certainly, bits and pieces that I'm seeing there that I wouldn't be totally happy with. And obviously I'll, be trying to address in coming weeks.
Sure. But I mean, the number of times that we've said it now over recent weeks, to be work in progress, but to have 4 consecutive league wins behind you is, I think most people would feel that is promising, because if you can find that improvement and you're already on that sort of form, then, possibly good things ahead.
You'd hope so. Again, we take nothing for granted. Like I say, Tuesday's going to be a really, real difficult game. We know I think we've got a mistake in us at the moment, and we need to eradicate that and not allow. I think we've improved from where we were right at the very start of the season, obviously with the goals that we were conceding, but it needs to improve again. And like I say, that's where we are. That's where we find ourselves. We've got different players in the group. We've had a lot of injuries, and it hasn't really settled down for us as yet. But equally, brilliant that the lads keep digging in for one another, and we are at the moment achieving results in the league.
Sure. And I'm guessing with the injury situation, I mean, it's really heartening to see the likes of Jordan Piggott out there yesterday and half an hour for him on what was probably quite a hard surface as well. So that's good. And some minutes for Steph Jones as well. I would surmise at this point that you perhaps haven't been able to play exactly the 11 would you choose, because you've not had everybody available.
No, that's right. And you're always kind of searching for that sort of perfect formula and side. And yeah, I wouldn't say we found it yet. Players do have shifts in form, and like I say, they can get injured, and and that can be more than one player, as we've experienced. So yeah, getting Jordan back is a big plus for us. Steph coming in and being available, again, it's another big plus for us. Like still, a couple out there. Steno we miss, to provide some weight across the front line. So yeah, still bits and pieces that can hopefully get better. And again, hopefully, that's alongside us continuing the run that we're on.
Sure. Obviously, Bromsgrove coming up on Tuesday. They have a new manager this season, and they've had a change around in personnel. But as ever, you'll have had a look at them, and you'll have some idea of what to expect. And then you mentioned earlier in the conversation, I'll just sort of conclude on that really. No game next week, obviously, because of the FA Cup disappointment, but that's not being utilised to play another game. You're going to use that opportunity to get players closer to being fit and to just make the most of training.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in. I don't feel we're in any rush at the moment, and probably paramount in my thinking would be that allowing players as much time as possible to be fit. These two games come quite close together. If we have a little bit of downtime, it makes perfect sense to go and take that. So I don't think it's we haven't lost any games to the bad weather as yet. and just makes sense to, like I say, get everybody as fit and far forward as you possibly can at this stage. And if it means, that there might be a little bit of a shuffle in the pack during the next sort of 10 days, 2 weeks, then that equally might be the case.
Sure. Kevin, congratulations on the performance yesterday and the victory, and I'll let you go back to enjoying the rest of your Sunday. As I say, for those of us who made the journey yesterday, and I'm sure there'll be some words of praise for the supporters again who made that journey. It's a long old haul, and they were rewarded with a win. So yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, brilliant. Like I say, it's much appreciated when you can share a moment together at the end. We always enjoy that. And like I say, we always welcome any victory, but it's nice when people have, like I say, it's a bit of a marathon journey, isn't it? So for us to go away with the right result I think it's heartening for everybody, and we look forward to Tuesday, as you say.
Sure. Kevin, always thank you for your time, but particularly today, given that it's on a Sunday. So thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.